Hello everyone, it's Brian here. Today I'm going to take part in a thread that was started by Midge. His channel is called Midge's Gems. It's a channel I discovered some time ago, but I realized just recently that although I went to visit his channel, I forgot to click subscribe, so I was never seeing his videos in my feed. So I kind of forgot about the channel, but he's been in the VC for about a year, and I went back to it recently and did, in fact, click the subscribe button. Anyway, in honor of his year in the VC, he is running a thread about hats, which is why I'm wearing a hat today. The idea is to show some records that have hats on the cover. Now, before I watched his video, I watched a couple other responses, and I started pulling records immediately, and I had way more than 5 because he asked for 5, but I didn't know that before I did the video, how many exactly he wanted. So I think maybe I went one record too far, but we'll see. But the first one I'm going to show you is the first one that occurred to me, and I'm going to disqualify it kind of in a humorous way because this is Men Without Hats, Rhythm of Youth, and as you'll see, there are no hats here. Now, why do I have 2 copies? One's an American pressing, one's a Canadian pressing. They have a slightly different track listing. So on the Canadian one, no, on the American one, they moved Safety Dance up to the second track on side 1, whereas on the original Canadian one, that led off side 2. I can't go through all the changes, but it's really, again, a weird example of records where the cover is slightly different color, a little bit different, and then the track listing is different. In fact, they're not wearing hats on the back, so forget about that one. Forget I showed it to you. Now, Midge also said that he would give bonus points, whatever that means, for wigs, so in fact, I did find an album cover that had a wig on it from 1982. This is Blondie's The Hunter, and apparently she's wearing something that's called an exploding kabuki wig. I didn't really know if this was her hair or not when I got this record, but apparently it's not her hair, it's a wig. So I'll claim the bonus points on that. It's not my favorite Blondie record by any stretch, but it is curious, and that cover is really strange, but there we have a wig. Midge also said that it didn't have to be just hats. It could be any sort of head covering, like a helmet or whatnot. So I picked maybe the oddest head covering I have from a French electronic duo. This dates back to 1978 or 79. There's conflicting dates. And this is a pressing from Canada, actually from Quebec. The band's called Space Art, and the album's called Trip in the Head Center. I mentioned this record when I bought it maybe a year or so ago. I found it quite interesting. I'm going to leave it out because I want to hear it again. When I heard it originally, I was thinking a bit of Jean-Michel Jarre, that kind of thing. In fact, one of the people who collaborated with them at some point went on to work with Jean-Michel Jarre. There's a hint of Pink Floyd. I wouldn't want to overemphasize that, but one track I did think of Pink Floyd, but I don't know if that's an accurate comparison. Very interesting band, though. I don't know how many records they did, but that is some sort of, I don't know, suit you'd wear in a volcano, maybe. I don't know, kind of curious. Good protection there from Space Art. Now, Gary Newman has a number of records with his in which he's wearing a hat on the cover. So I chose one that's a little atypical. I think of other ones were more traditional hats, like a top hat or a fedora type hat. But on Savage, Songs from a Broken World, he wears this head covering. It looks like he's in a desert scenario here, so something covering his mouth and nose and some sort of head covering to, I guess, protect against sand, I'm guessing, since it's a sandy sort of vista here. On the inside, we get to see him without the headdress on, so pretty cool. And this is, of course, the era of Gary Newman that I love. I think he hit it in stride here. This is 2017, sort of an industrial sound, very muscular. I think it's great. And then, because I'm a cyclist, I have chosen this record from 2002, I think. This is a 2009 repressing, I believe, of Kraftwerk's Tour de France soundtracks with 4 gentlemen racing with bike helmets. Now, my bike helmet doesn't look like that, but I do wear one when I'm cycling. And this record, of course, has a lot of really cool artwork in it, which I won't show all of it to you, but fantastic record from Kraftwerk, which I'm sure at least you all know the track Tour de France. I'm sure you do. Anyway, very cool. This one I have to just make a little on the fly edit here so I don't reveal anything that I'm not supposed to on YouTube. This is David Sylvian's Sleepwalkers from 2010, I think, originally. This is a later repressing for 2023, and that is a really intriguing hat slash mask she's got going on here. Really cool. This is an album of some collaborations he did around the Manathon Blemish era. Here's the back. The inside, I guess I could show you if I just cover something up here. It's hard to show you that. There we go. Pretty impressive record. I've always loved that cover image. It's very evocative or something. I'm not sure what the word is. Do I want to say erotic? Who knows? Anyway, pretty cool. From David Sylvian. And I think I've gone over 5, but I pulled this one out anyway. And I'm going to assure you that there is a hat on this album cover from Carly Simon. No secrets. There's the hat. I'm sure you know this album cover. And this is from 72 with that famous song, You're So Vain, which I'm sure we all know. So once again, I'll leave a link to Midge's channel, so please go and have a look. In the video that he describes as Thread, he discussed a little incident he had that led to some medical interventions. Have a look at his channel. I encourage you to take part in this thread. Honestly, there's probably 50 at least records I could have pulled out for this one. So please have a look at his channel. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.